The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. Which is a wonderful story about three stupid children. And they moved to the country because their dad is on that grind set. And they moved to the country to like a cute little cottage, and then it turns out that they moved next to like some like fucking magical wood. And by wood, I mean forest. I don't know. They move next to a magical forest, and they climb a tree, and they meet a bunch of like little critters that like live in the tree. They literally live in the tree. And then when you climb to the top of the tree, which is like the tallest tree in the whole world, there's a different land at the top of the tree. There's like a portal at the top of the tree, and it changes. And where we left off last week, Joe had just stuck his huge dumbass head into some polar bear land, and then he got snatched by a presumably a polar bear. He's like, I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna look. Chapter 8. Joe and the Magic Snowman. It was actually kind of shocking. He's like, he stuck his head up through the hole, and he's like, oh my god, there's like snow and polar bears. And then he just got yoinked into the nether. He didn't even get a song. Exactly. Oh. Chapter 8. And the Rhino. Moonface was most upset to see Joe disappear. I told him not to. I told him, he groaned. You didn't, sobbed Fanny. Your mouth was full of toffee, and all you could say was ooble, ooble, ooble. And how could we know what that meant? Where's Joe now? Asked Bessie, quite pale with shock. Yes, indeed. Where was Joe? Someone had lifted him right off the ladder, up into the land of ice and snow. And there, strangely enough, the moon and the sun were in the sky at the same time, one at one side and the other opposite, both shining with a pale light. Joe shivered, for it was very cold. He looked to see what had lifted him off the ladder, and he saw in front of him a big, strange creature. A snowman. He was just like the snowmen Joe had so often made in the wintertime. Round and fat and white. Sounds like a politician. Okay, I'm done. With an old hat on his head and a pipe in his mouth. Listen, I didn't say it. Old, like an old white Nepo baby. This is luck, said the snowman, in a soft, snowy sort of voice. I've been standing by that hole for days, waiting for a seal to come up, and you came. Oh, said Joe, remembering that seals did come up to breathe through holes in the ice. That wasn't a water hole. That was the hole that led down to the faraway tree. I would like to go back, please. The hole is closed up, said the snowman. Joe looked, and to his great dismay, he saw that a thick layer of ice had formed over the hole. So thick that he knew perfectly well he could never break through it. Did you see a cat? She's probably going to the bathroom because she missed her bathroom break. She slept through it. That was so funny. I love animals. Okay, the hole's closed up. Ice had formed over the hole, so thick that he knew he could never break through it. Whatever shall I do now? Just what I tell you, said the snowman, with a grin. This is splendid. In this dull and silent land, there's nothing but polar bears, seals, and penguins. I've often wanted someone to talk to. Oh my god, it's the Ice King. Except, like, less creepy. But great, I've always wanted a friend that was trapped here with me. Just like you, chat. How did you get here? Asked Joe, wrapping his coat firmly round him, for he was bitterly cold. It's good he has a coat. I thought it was summer. I don't know why he has a coat. How did you get here? Asked Joe, wrapping his coat firmly around him, for he was cold. Ah, said the snowman, that's a long story. Sorry, that's a great bit. I bet it is a long story, though. That's a long story. I was made by some children long ago. And when they had finished me, they laughed at me and threw stones at me to break me up. So that night I crept away and made myself king. But what's the good of being king if you've only got bears and things to talk to? What I want is a jolly good servant who can talk my language. And now you've come. But I don't want to be your servant, said Joe indignantly. Nonsense, said the snowman. And he gave Joe a push that nearly sent him over. Then, on big, flat snow feet, he moved forward to where there was a low wall of snow. Okay, now I'm imagining Olaf from Frozen. At first I was imagining Ice King, but it's like, meow, lady, I'm busy. You're so awful. How? It's not my fault okay, she's running away, oh no. It's not my fault you slept through your last warning. It's not my fault. She overslept. Okay, you're supposed to wake up to your alarm. I know. Okay, ignore her. She's been shaved very badly. Say hello. Kitty speaks when Kitty wants to. I love you. Okay, go play. Go do. No, don't follow me. No. I am being attacked. I know. You overslept. You're making it my problem. She says it's your problem. It's not my problem. I'm sorry. You literally know. You know. Okay, I'm busy. I'm not playing video games right now. This is what she does to me when I play video games. Like when I'm playing Subnautica, that's what you guys are hearing. You're okay. You literally, oh God, all right, I'm giving her too much attention. She's gonna get worse. She's circling me like a shark. Don't get up here. She's gonna jump up on the desk. Wait, it's working. Swerve. I lost my page. Okay. Successfully swerved. I'm not gonna. She's right behind me. I'm not gonna look. She's just out of frame, waiting. Shouldn't have looked. Okay, she didn't see me though. I really don't want her to jump up on here. Mido, fuck you. I'm not gonna do a handstand right now. I'll do it after I'm reading though, so nobody refund those points. Blah, 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 the snowman, who is like Olaf with the personality of Olaf. Nonsense, said the snowman, and he gave Joe a push that nearly sent him over. Then on big, flat snow feet, he moved forward to where there was a low wall of snow. Make me a good house, he said. I don't know how to, said Joe. Just cut blocks of this stiff, icy snow and build them up on top of one another, said the snowman. When you've finished, I'll give you a fur coat to wear. Then you won't shiver so much. Joe didn't see that he could do anything but obey. So he picked up a spade that was laying by the wall and began to cut big bricks of the frozen snow. When he had cut about 20, he stopped and placed them one on top of the other, till one side of the round house was made. Then he began to cut snow bricks again, wondering all the time how in the world he would ever be able to escape from this strange land. Like a brown bear, just ignore it, or is that a black bear? I don't know. I feel like black bears are more curious, and a brown bear, I don't know. I don't think bears are like T-Rexes. Like, I don't know. I've never heard that advice. Because they say if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. That's the only advice I know. Oh, and then also the advice from... What movie is it? I don't know. Where they're like, I just gotta run faster than you. And if you ever see a baby bear, run for your life. For real though, like I'm laughing and it's actually not even funny. All right, so if you ever see a baby bear, like a cub, you wanna walk right up to it and you're gonna pick it up and you're gonna punt it like a football and then run in the other direction. And tell it you didn't see shit, okay? Don't tell anybody that you saw me here. You saw nothing, and then you punt it, or like, oh wait, you punt it first, and then as it's flying through the air, you shout, you saw nothing, and then you run as fast as you can. Because you know that bitch is gonna snitch. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, here we go. He was building an igloo, and then he began to cut more snow bricks, wondering all the time how in the world he would ever be able to escape from this strange land. Joe had often built little snow houses of soft snow in his garden at home during the winter. Now he made a big one with proper snow blocks, as hard as bricks. He quite enjoyed it, though he did wish the girls were there too. When he had finished it and made a nice rounded roof, the snowman came shuffling up. "Very nice," he said. "Very nice indeed. I can just get in, I think." He squeezed his big snow body inside and threw out a fur coat for Joe, made of white polar bear skin. Joe put it on very thankfully. Then he tried to squeeze in after the snowman, for he wanted to be out of the cold, icy wind. But he was so squashed between the snowman and the walls of the snow house that he couldn't breathe. "Don't push so," said the snowman disagreeably. "Move up." "I can't," gasped poor Joe. He felt quite certain that he would be pushed right out of the snow hut through a hole in the wall. Seems like he built it well. And oh my God, there's a line I don't want to read next. "Don't push so, move. I can't," gasped poor Joe. He felt quite certain that he would be pushed right out of the snow hut through a hole in the wall. Just then there came a curious grunt at the doorway. The snowman called out at once. "Is that you, Furry?" "Furry, take this boy to your home under the ice. He's a nuisance here. He keeps squashing me." He looked up to see who Furry was, and he saw a great white bear looking in. The bear had a stupid but kind look on his face. "Oomph," said the bear, and pulled Joe out into the open air. Joe knew it was no use to struggle. Nobody could get away from a bear as big as that. But the bear was certainly kindly. "Oomph," he said to Joe with a loud grunting noise. "I don't know what you mean," said Joe. The bear said no more. Good night. He just took Joe along with him, half carrying the little boy. For Joe found the way very slippery indeed. They came to a hole that led under the ice and snow. The bear pushed Joe down it, and to Joe's enormous surprise, he found there was a big room underneath, with 5 bears there. big and little. And it was quite warm there, too. Joe was astonished, because there was no fire, of course. "Oomph," said all the bears politely. "Oomph," said Joe. That pleased the bears very much indeed. They came and shook paws with Joe very solemnly and oomphed all over him. Joe liked the look of the bears much more than he liked the look of the snowman. He's code switching. Stop, I'm already crying. And all the bears are like pleased about it. Everyone liked that. Choosing the right dialogue option in a room full of polar bears. It tickles me, okay? Joe liked the look of the bears very much more than he liked the look of the snowman. He thought perhaps they might help him to escape from this silly land of ice and snow. "Could you tell me the way back to the faraway tree?" he asked the bears politely and clearly. The bears looked at one another and then oomphed at Joe. It was quite clear they didn't understand a word he said. "Never mind," said Joe with a sigh, and made up his mind to put up with things till he could see a way to escape. The snowman was a great nuisance. No sooner did Joe settle himself down for a nap, leaning his head against the big warm body of a bear, than there came a call from the snow house. "Hi, boy! Come here and play dominoes with me." So Joe had to go and play dominoes. And as the snowman wouldn't let him come into the hut because he said he was squashed, Joe had to sit in the doorway and play. And he nearly froze to bits. Sorry, I have to burp. He had to sit in the doorway to play? Yeah, what the fuck, snowman? He's such a bad host. He had to sit in the doorway and play, and he nearly froze to bits. Then another time, just as he was eating a nice bit of fried fish that one of the bears had kindly cooked in oil for him. Fish and chips, I might stay. And as soon as he was eating a nice bit of fried fish that one of the bears had kindly cooked in oil for him, the snowman shouted to him to come and make him a window in his house. And Joe had to hurry off and cut a sheet of clear ice to fit into one side of the snow house for a window. Really, that snowman was a perfect nuisance. I wish to goodness I'd never peeped into this silly land, thought Joe 100 times. It's a good thing the bears are so nice to me. I only wish they would say something else besides oomph. Joe wondered what Bessie and Fanny were up to. Or were doing. Joe wondered what Bessie and Fanny were doing. Were they very upset he didn't come back? Would they go home and tell their father and mother what had happened? Question mark. Bessie and Fanny were upset. And they were in a great fright, too. It had been dreadful to see poor Joe disappear through the cloud like that. Moonface looked very solemn, too. He could speak quite well now that he had swallowed all of his toffee. "We must rescue him," he said, his face shining like the full moon. "How?" asked the girls. "I must think," said Moonface, and he shut his eyes. His head swelled up with his thinking. He opened his eyes and nodded his head. "We'll go to Goldilocks and the 3 bears," he said. "Her bears know of the bears in the land of ice and snow. She might be able to help Joe that way." "But where does Goldilocks live?" asked Bessie in wonder. "I thought she was just a fairy tale." "Good gracious, no," said Moonface. "Come on, we'll have to catch the train." "What train?" asked Fanny in astonishment. "Oh, wait and see," said Moonface. "Hurry now, go down the slippery slip and wait for me at the bottom." And then chapter 9 next, The House of the 3 Bears. Oh my god, you don't even want to know what chapter 10 is called. It's called The Battle of the Bears. Sorry, spoilers. I got spoiled too. Hype. Don't worry, I'm gonna read chapter 9 and maybe 10? I don't know. I just want to dance. But I'll keep reading. The next chapter is like 3 pages. And then the next chapter after that. Maybe. I don't know. It seems like a lot, though. Okay. War, we're coming. Thank you guys for the follows. Thank you, chatter. Thank you, viewer. I'm just a fucked up girl in a fucked up world. Yeah, I mean, I guess I gotta keep reading. I've only been reading for like 30 minutes. Feels like 5 hours, but that's okay. I knew it wasn't that long. I would read and dance at the same time, but I'm worried this book is too old. It would fall into pieces. Alright, we're going to save him by going to Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Hurry! Down the slippery slip. Oh, God. The House of the 3 Bears. Bessie took a cushion and put it at the top of the slide and pushed off. Down she went. Whiz. Whiz! I don't know. She shot to the bottom, flew out of the trapdoor, and landed on the cushion of moss. She had hardly gotten up before Fanny flew out of the trapdoor too. I hate it when that happens. Alright, I need a break, actually, though. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.